Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another Industry Insider. I'm so happy to have Jen Hamel, the manager of Reservations Sales and Service for Delta Vacations, here to chat a little bit about travel insurance. Jen, thank you so much for jumping on here and giving me some of your time today.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
So I know agents have been selling or advisors have been selling insurance for a long time. I know it's a good product for a lot of them, but I still hear stories about clients being reluctant to take on insurance. And I was hoping you could talk to us a little bit about are some of the top reasons that clients don't really want to buy trip insurance, and how can travel advisors sort of counteract that?
Yeah. So we hear a lot of objections as well. The number one is usually like, I'm going regardless. I'm taking this trip. People get excited about vacations and they're very eager to go. We really want to see people covered for their vacations because of the coverage that's provided both before and during their trip. Another objection is like, hey, I'm already covered through my credit card. Thanks anyway. A lot of consumers don't actually know that coverage via a credit card is usually an accidental death benefit only. Most of those cards do not cover illness, natural death, or a medical emergency. And then the last one is usually that, travel insurance is expensive. And it's important to remember that most insurance products have a variety of tiers that can be tailored to the consumer's individual needs. Those are things that, you can choose a higher level of coverage for a higher price. So there's something for everyone.
Yeah, I hear the credit card point a lot with consumers, particularly when I'm talking to people maybe
Yeah.
outside of the industry. They don't realize that does come with stipulations, because I know it's a selling point for the credit card companies to be able to offer that. So
Yeah, it
I
is. It
definitely,
can,
I definitely hear that as well.
yeah, we get that a
Yeah.
lot.
Well, let's look at it the other way. I know advisors who have clients who have bought trip insurance and have used it. It's a thing that comes back again and again once you've experienced the product or you've been in need of the product. So if you can tell us maybe a story about some clients who were particularly glad that they had purchased trip insurance.
Yeah, I use the story quite frequently because I love this story. We spoke to a woman who was excited for her trip but had to call and cancel. She explained to our associate that she had bought travel protection because she was actually traveling over her son's state baseball tournament. And she told us, in air quotes, they were never going to make it. They were the bad news bears. And lo and behold, they made it. And so she called us to discreetly cancel her package. And they were none the wiser. But she was just so she said over and over, like, I'm so thankful that I bought this, because then he never really had to know. So it was a good story.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I hear that a lot. People just don't realize that they're going to be needing trip
Yeah.
insurance. And even for small trips, things like that, people always consider that they probably will be taking the trip, like you mentioned. But
Hmm.
things come up all the time. Like, life happens so quickly. So I'm glad you've had that story. So you mentioned the grandma story, but I'm sure there's other things that consumers really aren't aware of that trip insurance can cover, right?
Oh, definitely. I think that the most important things are both medical and dental coverage. I've had people say, really, dental too? And like, you never know. We've had folks fall in a destination and chip a tooth.
Oh
So
my
that
God.
was really valuable. Coverage for things that are lost or even stolen. We've had folks utilize their travel insurance for a passport that was lost. That's a hefty fee. Emergency medical transportation. And again, there are a variety of different levels of coverage, but ours that we sell actually covers um, even being airlifted if it becomes medically necessary. And the most important thing, I think, is that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, that service from a multilingual team of people who are really, this is their expertise, and it's really valuable, almost invaluable, to have those problem solvers on your team.
Jen, like, the pitch was post COVID that people would realize about travel insurance that it's
Yeah,
so incredibly necessary. I know a lot of consumers had difficulty rebooking post COVID, or even getting monies back. Like,
yep,
I'm curious, is that a trend that, like, have you seen that pickup post COVID sustain itself? Like, we're in 20, almost 26 now. Like,
yeah.
has the popularity of travel insurance maintained that high level?
I think it's interesting that it's really kind of taken some ups and some downs. Sometimes when there's intervention, or activities where flights are canceled, I feel like folks feel covered then because if they're not able to take the trip. But I mean, we always recommend trip travel protection with the trip interruption because it just is really invaluable and it makes things so easy if anything comes up. So
Yeah, and I also get the feeling that consumers are surprised, like we mentioned, they're surprised at what they can cover. But I think some
yep.
consumers are surprised the ease that which you can file a claim and things like that. Like that seems to be something that I hear about consumers too, how easy it is to actually utilize trip insurance.
Yeah, in most cases, just really a record of a flight delay is enough. Keeping receipts, being mindful of those things. But it's extremely easy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I have one more for you, and I just want to talk about specifically for the travel advisors side of things. Do you have any advice for the advisors to help them understand the benefit of trip insurance, or help them communicate the benefits of trip insurance to their clients? Like, what kind of advice would you give people who maybe aren't utilizing this product in their day to day selling?
Yeah, so I think it's really important to remember that anything can happen in life, just like auto insurance, life insurance, flood insurance. We never buy insurance for the things that we know are going to happen. We really need to buy insurance for the things that are the unexpected. And I just feel like that be safe, don't be sorry. Um, in most cases, it's a very small percent of the overall package or trip. You got to have it.
Yeah. So I don't want to let you go with just generally asking about the goings on at Delta Vacations. I know we're headed towards the end of 2025. Like, what's new with Delta Vacations? Whether it's your team, another department, like what should advisors keep an eye out for?
So I think the most exciting thing to happen for us in the last year is that Delta Vacations is now able to offer the medallion qualifying dollars for our customers on both their air and their land in their package. And so that's just been really, really huge. It's really helping people attain their medallion levels, whether it's silver or if they're already silver, working their way up to gold. It's been an incredible year for us, and we're just really looking forward to 2026.
Yeah, the medallion. I've heard so much positive feedback about the medallion news. I know Sky Miles members just love their status, and I know that's going to
Yep.
continue. So,
Yep.
I was really excited to hear about that. Yeah,
Very exciting.
Jen, thank you so much for your time. I always recommend people buy travel insurance, trip insurance. I know advisors do too. I know it's a product advisors can help add to their bottom line too. So I hope they
Yep.
take your words to heart and continue selling this and maybe sort of try to push a little more with clients.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me. It's great to check in.